welcome back to Beautiful Subconscious. I'm Shell Marie. Today's episode, my independent women, my independent ladies, is all about letting your man serve you better. It is a juicy topic. I always feel like this is directly hitting me to my core when I hear and discuss these topics. And it is definitely something that is a part of my journey. And I would love to share it with you today in being and becoming a hyper independent woman and having to unlearn and trust and allow men to be the masculine provider and support in your life. So I can't wait to unpack it. But of course, we got to pull a card first because that's what we do here on the BS podcast. All right. So, okay. I am rising up into my highest power. Okay. Let that land. How does that relate to our episode? Maybe it'll unpack, but rising up to our highest power doesn't always mean that we have to be exerting our power all the time. There we go. There it is. Sometimes the highest power, especially for us women, is to trust and have our power in the energy of trust to allow the people around us, especially the men in our worlds, to be better of service. So ultimately, the world that we're living in now, we have evolved where women are, equally making money. It's equal share in raising, kids. That women especially feel like they are doing it all. And so we become fixated on getting it done, and our minds are programmed to be quite multitaskers. We compartmentalize, like, I got to do that, and then that needs to be completed, and then in that between that space I can slot that in. So we're forever playing Tetris in our minds, and ladies, that is our neurological makeup. And so when we're adding more things to our plates and being not only the female of the house and upholding the nurturant roles that can be more typically our innate roles, but if we're also becoming the masculine and the men of our household, aka like single mums and single parents, you're playing both roles. You're not just one. It is a lot. It is so much. And so you're forever in this like, okay, I'm hyper fixated that you don't allow anything else to help you out almost. Like you've made it your duty to do it all on your own. And so to unlearn that and to allow yourself to be taken care of is a very vulnerable, scary place sometimes. And, sometimes with this modern world, it's not necessarily about the financial support that women want, but more so the emotional providing that they crave from their partners. And if they're not able to meet you there and be that home and be that space where you can be like, I want to be able to tell you everything about me and feel safe and feel protected and feel held, then they're going to pull back or react or find their own ways to just try cope with that stress that is innately within them, because women are typically wired to want to be provided for and be taken care of. We want to be able to support our family and be that nurturer, but typically we would like that element of being taken care of, to be looked after. Yes, maybe on a financial sense still. But women, we're learning how to make our own money and that there. It's so interesting. I'm hearing so many more women now. They're just like, I just want those old roles to come back. We're looking after the household and, the man's going out there and making the money. But I dare say, in my opinion, if it's not the financial providing, it is the emotional protector and provider that they're wanting from the masculine partners or the masculine roles of their lives. And I definitely relate to that. Like when my dad passed away, I've shared it so many times, where he was my emotional, best friend. He knew me inside out. I could tell him anything. And he, to me, was this big, he was physically like, big, and he just had this softness, but this staunchness that, I'm like, I'm good no matter what I say and no matter, what happens in the world. He's got my back emotionally and, even financially, but it was the emotional support that I didn't know that I needed so much. And, with my marriage, like that, there was other ways that I was provided for, and it was beautiful. And but I didn't get to see it. Like in retrospect, like I just knew that was the emotional support was a value of mine. And when that wasn't there, I felt unsafe, even though there was other ways I was being provided for. And my gosh, in my marriage, they did their absolute best. He did his absolute best to meet me on that level. But the level that I needed was on a different level that he was able to get to. And so that was a lot of where the undoing, stemmed from. And so when my dad died, soon enough, my marriage, ended. And so here I was, becoming this even more hyper independent female where I'm just like, all right, well, if I don't have that emotional support here, I feel unsafe. So I'm going to have to go elsewhere to find that safety. I'm going to have to create it myself. I'm going to have to make, look after my kids. I'm going to have to make my business work as best as I can. I want to be that emotional support. I want to have that emotional support. And thankfully the industry that I'm in, it provides that. And I was able to create that and find that within myself. Hello, lovely listeners. Our Total Life Transformation Program is live. If you feel stuck in your health, career, relationships, or money, this is the chance for a complete revamp. Over 6 months, you'll experience powerful changes that will transform every part of your life. With the guidance of 5 specialists, so yours truly, a kinesiologist, money mentor, functional health practitioner, career advisor, and our relationship coach, we address 4 key life pillars: your health, your career, your money, and your relationships. One investment shifts you from feeling low-key, unfulfilled to fully energized and inspired in every area of your life. Health. If stress, emotional baggage, or unhealthy habits drain you, we will help release what's in your subconscious and create a personalized nutrition and supplement plan to reset your energy and health. Career. If you feel lost or stuck in your career, our kinesiologist and career mentor provide clarity, confidence, and an action plan to move forward with purpose. Money. If scarcity or fear around money keeps you stuck, we heal your financial blueprint. With our money mentor, you will gain practical strategies to confidently manage your finances for life. And relationships. If disconnection in your relationships leave you feeling unseen, we heal emotional wounds, leading to deeper connection, trust, and love. Now it's time to create your extraordinary life. So book your clarity call now for our Total Life Transformation Program, because it is live and waiting for you. But now when you're meeting people and you're wanting to allow yourself that connection again, there is a vulnerability and a fear of letting someone be a provider for you when you've learned in your nervous system to be hyper independent, to be that person to wear all the hats, to be the masculine and the feminine. And so I had to really look intimately at my survival circuitry. I had to look at like what was going on and how I was showing up, and start to really understand that some of them aren't going to be conducive of a really connected, healthy relationship, which I crave. And that's all, we're doing this work for that connection, the connection with ourselves and the connection with others, and especially that connection with our significant other. We want to feel that connection, but there were some behaviors that I unconsciously was, if the words weren't there, the energy was of just like, like I'm good. I've got it till here. And so it's a constant in trying to unwind that in my nervous system and feel okay to trust and feel okay to be supported. And I see it. I still see it. I'm like, oh my God, Michelle, like, there's a sense of control, and for so many of us women, we know what we want. and we know how to, we've worked out ways to get it, whether it's money, whether it's, the structure of our day, like we're quick, we're efficient. And so there's no space for the men in our life to really support us or to be of service of us, because, it's going to be a lose-lose for him if we're not, doing it in the way that if they're not doing it in the way that we're asking, we're going to feel disappointed. But then it also, at the same time, we don't want to do it, but we do want to do it because we want to do it our way, but then we're resentful that we're doing it. So it's just like, shit, there is no space for the men in our worlds to really be of better service, like they crave and like they really want to be for us. And so the question is, my beautiful independent women, how to let your masculine partner better serve you. We're going to have to let trust back in. You're going to have to trust that they can hold that space. They can provide that support if you allow them to. And if you really allow yourself, it may look a little different, but you've got to really choose that there's love in and around, weave through it. And if you don't choose it, you're choosing your survival circuitry over happiness. And, for the independent women, for the single mums, for the single dads, what you're really showcasing to your kids is choose survival over happiness, choose survival over happiness, choose survival over happiness, which is going against the work that I definitely do. And that is rewiring you out of your subconscious to be in that state of creation, to be in that state of neutrality and harmony, so you can really enjoy life and not just merely survive it. And so we've got to witness, like, even in those choices that we're unconsciously making of like, no, I got it. Or, I wouldn't have done it that way. Or no, like I do it all. Even though you want someone to support you, are your actions really aligning to be of happiness? Maybe you might be like, yeah, I'm happy when things are done my way. I can hear so many females in my head saying that right now. But are you really, or is that just control? So the best way to understand if you are in that state of control is to firstly begin to regulate your nervous system. You got to bring yourself back to safety. You got to unwire the survival and regulate your emotions, regulate your responses, use tools like kinesiology, like breath work, like meditation. You've got to regulate yourself. And the second way that you can start to now support this transition, because it's going to be a process, and how you can allow yourself to be supported and let your masculine partner serve you better, is you're going to have to actively choose to see and notice the efforts and the things that they're doing. I get we can nitpick. We can see what's not happening. But if you actively see the effort that they're making, then I am sure that that effort will compound. And I know some people will say, like, if I acknowledge it, he'll stop doing it, right? There's so many people like, I don't want to, because then he might be like, oh, well, yeah, he loses that effort because he feels like he's done enough, or whatever narrative that you're playing out. And I hear it a lot. And it's, again, like that common fear, where you've got a space right now, an opportunity to look at what's really playing out. And if you were to lead with love and keep showing up in unconditional love and keep, expressing that love instead of like, I'm going to withhold that, because by withholding that, then he's going to keep trying more. Then that again is coming back to control. That again is coming back to fear. There is a beautiful space to inquire in as to why you're choosing to live out of fear than out of love. And then there's 1,000,001 ways that you can start to heal yourself in that space. But it's just becoming aware. Men do want to show up. They want to show up for us. They crave the chance to be of service. They crave to protect, to provide, to be that pillar of support. But often we just don't let them. We are so used to doing it all on our own. We are so used to being independent, and we shoulder all the responsibilities. But what if we just let that group go? What if we allow them to just step into that role for us? What would change in that dynamic for you? How would all those things that you do on a daily basis, if you allowed that support of them to help and ask for it, how much more ease you can feel it, how much more ease and enjoyment and connection and love can you experience. And it's time to not keep denying that in your world, because it's there for the taking. We've just got to bring awareness to the dynamic and make the shifts so it's incongruent to what it is that you really genuinely want. So my beautiful independent women, let me know what your thoughts are, what you've taken from this. I would love to see what you could apply and how this may shift, just any kind of, I don't know, connection in how this can support you. I would love to hear it. Because remember, letting go of control isn't a weakness. It's really opening the door for a deeper connection, a deeper experience, and something that is just more genuine, which is what we all at the end of the day deeply desire. So let your man be your rock. I loved sharing this episode with you. And until next time, live life liberated.
Audience exclusive.